Jesus, what do you... Do I have to report 2 people in one night? Are you kidding me?
No. Yellow flag, watch out. Nice one, Space Kid. Good start.
Now I'm spinning, Couldn't do anything. Oh, God.
We've got a full course.
They put my wheel on wrong. Yes! Yes! Oh, I've Austin Powers did. Howdy y'all, Melody here. I want to talk a little bit about my most recent stream. So, on my most recent stream, I did some Skippy racing. We did 4 Skippy races at Long Beach, which is a track that I've been really enjoying this week. It's been really fun, and it's been a great way to end off the season of races. And at this point, I'm feeling a little bit of pressure to get to, you know, above 3.0 so I can do my promotion and get back into B class for roads ever since I lost it thanks to a bunch of F3 races in Montreal. Anyway, I want to show you some context to give you an idea of just where my head was at and how my night was going leading into this final race. Literally, I lifted off the clutch pedal to adjust again, but this time I remembered to lift off the gas, but the tires still rolled a little bit, and it freaked me out. I was like, oh no, does that count? Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! I have never seen such a garbage start to a Skippy race! What the fuck happened? A podium would be lovely. We'll see what happens though. Maybe we can gain it back. It's not impossible. It's just very unlikely. But the only thing I should be focusing on right now is taking this car and putting it in the wall. So I'm driving through here, and this car. Oh, I see now. That's so shitty. Well, we avoided it last race, and it was really bad last race, and we avoided it somehow. So, literally took out 6 cars, lap 1, turn 1. So, the fact that we survived that, I feel pretty confident we can survive anything. Gonna brake nice and early.
Still there.
There it is. There's the turn 1 clusterfuck on demand, and we survived it again. Oh, and the car in front of us does too.
Click car right.
Oh, come on.
Car right.
Come on.
Still there.
Why is it like this? Why am I in hell? Why am I in literal hell?
Called into the pits by the stewards for repairs.
The race. There we go. Let's see that turn 1 disaster again, because just like last race, of course, there was a turn 1, lap 1 disaster. The same fucking thing happened. I'm gonna scream. It was the same exact thing. It was somebody not braking. How are you all this dense? Like, it's so basic. The brake pedal is on the left. The gas pedal is on the right. I'm gonna scream. Here, I'm gonna brake a little early.
Still there.
Take the turn, leave them space.
Right side, on your right.
I was trying to leave them space, but apparently they
Your right.
felt like sending it. Anyway. Well, good start. Now he's trying to slow me down on purpose. Very mature.
Clear left. Car right.
Why is he doing this?
Clear right.
Alright, I'm gonna have to report the guy behind. He's trying to race me.
Right side. Clear right.
Oh my god. Why? This is the same guy that said this is why girls can't drive. He's just being really shitty right now.
It's just done a 135.42.
Yeah, I know, he's trying to wreck me on purpose, because he also made a sexist comment in chat. It's just really shitty. It's fine, because he'll get the report for it, but, like,
Car right.
it's just really frustrating.
Clear right.
Telling me that I can't drive when I was in first, and he was in 11th, and then wrecking me so that I would end up in 9th.
8.0 seconds.
It's possible that he was part of a wreck
Yellow flag.
that I was in on lap 1, but oh my god, he really can't drive. He is actually the worst driver I've ever seen. 1, slow motion. So that's not my fault. I'm gonna go out and say that that's not my fault. I blamed myself for that accident at first. I thought that that was me, but it's actually him turning back in. Like, I didn't give him the most space, but I definitely gave him enough that he could have gone through there. He just sort of lost control and went back there. Okay, so that happens. That's the first incident. No one walks away from it with any damage, which is nice. That's what happened. That's him. Okay, let's see it in chase. Yeah. Oh, that's netcode. Wait, that's straight up netcode. Yo, it's not even me, it's netcode. It's not even me. Oh my god. Alright, well, I'm including this in the replay, obviously. I'm going to include this whole first section in the replay. Don't cut off this guy, but get it as close as I can.
Still a clear left.
Can't get all the width I want, but that's okay. They're behind me, but they're not getting the draft. But they are a little bit faster, it looks like, which is a shame. And they have the inside, so I'm just going to have to sort of accept whatever they do here.
Still there.
They do outbrake me.
Clear right.
They also spin out. Please don't. Oh, no, no.
Clear left.
Oh. But I think it's fine. Oh, the smoke. The smoke from the lap. Jesus. What do you... Do I have to report 2 people in one night? Are you kidding me? Why? Literally, why? I am so mad right now. On the last lap, why would you do that? What are you doing? So clearly, I was frustrated. I was upset. I was dying for a good race. I ended my stream shortly after that last one where I DNF'd, and all I could do was take a break, walk away, and before I went to bed, it was 3 a.m. and I decided I'm gonna do one more, and I didn't stream it. I just wanted to do one final race because I thought I could do better. You know, how many times can something go horribly wrong like that? How many disasters can you have in one day? 4? Maybe. 5? A little less likely. So I decided to hop into the 3:15 a.m. Skippy race, and here's how that went. Here we are on the grid, hopping into this race. Green flag, and as you can see, I am starting in P3. Yeah, a really good starting place. I think that was the best grid position that I had gotten all night, so I was already off to a good start here. And here's where I started to feel optimistic, is when I managed to pass by the 2 cars in front of me, brake later than them, take the turn tighter, and move to the inside and get in front, taking the lead instantly off of that first turn. That was a really big moment, because this was the first time that I really felt good about a race. Like, I had been I think I'd been in second. I don't think I'd been in first all night so far. But I think I'd been in second. Maybe I had been in first for a little while. I can't remember now. Yeah, I think I was. But the difference was that when I was in first that last time, I was then taken out deliberately by somebody who was mad at me. And here I have nobody to fear, at least yet. And it always happens that it always ends up being the case that whenever I have an incident, it's almost always somebody in front of me having some sort of accident and me going headfirst into it with nothing else, nowhere else to go. So it's always something that's, you know, unavoidable because it's in front of me. So I always feel the most confident when I'm leading, because there's nothing in front of me to slow me down. It's just an open track. It's like I'm doing time trials all alone, and the only thing I have to worry about is what's behind me. And the best thing to do in this kind of situation is to just not think about what's behind you and focus on the race, focus on the time trials, and just, drive. So that's what I'm trying to do here, and obviously with all of the pressure from the previous races making me want it so badly, I'm putting up a good fight. I'm doing everything I can to race hard, and I can already tell that these two cars behind me, the number 1 and the number 4, are going to give me a pretty good fight. They are faster paced than me because they both qualified faster than me. And what I'm hoping at this point is that I'm the faster and better racer, and that they are just better at time trials. But of course, the number 4 car comes to the inside here, or the outside rather, takes the outside, overtakes into first, and now I'm in second. And I don't mind, it's lap 2, right? Like, lap 2, losing a position is so minor, makes basically no difference. The fact that I am still in draft distance is the only thing that really matters, and I'm thinking at this point, I can probably get that back. I've got a long time to get that back, and even if I don't, I'm happy in P2. I'm happy to just hang out here. So the number 1 car is the car that I'm really worried about, because obviously the number 1 car is the faster car here. They're number 1 for a reason, and I'm a little bit nervous about their pace to me. Now this is a big moment here. I'm going to quickly rewind and show you exactly what happened there. So this red car here, the number 4 car, just goes into the wall with their rear, spins them out, and me and the number 1 car behind me both narrowly dodge the incident. Thankfully, we're okay. The number 4 car, however, is taken back 10 seconds and climbing. And it's a shame. It's always a shame. But it's also a relief, because it's one less person to compete with who would have had the pace, definitely had the pace, to keep up with me. It's just one less thing to worry about, and I'm always happy to have a little bit of relief. So the number 1 car is right on my tail here, 2/10 behind me, 5 laps in, just keeping right up against me, and there's almost a 4-second gap behind me, excluding the number 1 car. So I know for a fact that the only car I really have to worry about this race is that 1 car, and it's definitely, I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to keep this position without really fighting for it, and even then it's not guaranteed. And that's a lot of what the fun of this race has been so far and will continue to be. And the racing only gets tighter from here. This race was so stressful for me for a lot of it, but not in a bad way at all. It was tons of fun, and I think you can probably imagine why. It's always good to have the opportunity to really, really race somebody. So here you can see now we're 6 laps in, and Michael is still only 3/4 behind me, just really, really, really keeping pace, has not managed to make any sort of overtake move yet on me. But I get the impression that they're not trying to, because it's still so early in the race, there's just no reason to. And that's a scary thought, to think that this person who clearly, has the ability to outpace me is just waiting there, waiting for the opportunity, waiting until they can get in front of me and win the race. So I'm definitely nervous and just trying to race my best and hoping that things work out as the race comes to an end. But we've still got tons and tons and tons of time before that. And the best thing that I can do here, and what I was trying to do in the moment, is just not think about it and just drive the best that I can, because that's, in the moment, all you can do is drive. You can't be thinking too much about how the race is going to end. You can't be stressing about that. You just got to drive, do what you can do, and whatever happens is what happens. So I was trying my best to be in the moment and try to get all those little stresses out of my mind, but having this car pressure me 2/10 behind was definitely not helping, and it never does, which is why these cars, this is why people do it. And I would do the same thing, just staying as close as I can, trying to pressure and stress the car in front of me into making a mistake. And here you can see that with the draft, number 1 car makes a move, just has enough speed to get through, overtaking on the turn, getting in front, and leaving me in P2. Now, I don't mind. Again, it's still early. We're still not even halfway through the race. It's a 16-lap race, so I'm okay being in P2. I'm certainly not going to sit here intentionally and give up opportunities to pass. I'm always going to be looking for opportunities to find overtakes, but I'm not too upset to be here in this moment. It's not something that I'm upset about at all. It's it's a totally fine place to be, and the really important thing is just how close you are to P1, because there will always be passing opportunities that come up if you're close enough, and I am close enough. So I know they're going to come up, I know I'm going to have those opportunities, and I know that if I do them right, I might be able to get back into first no problem, or it might be a little bit of a challenge, but I can get there. That opportunity will come time and time again before the race is over. So here we are on lap 8, and I have enough speed coming out of the straight in the draft to move to the inside, take the turn with the later braking zone, and get in front of the number 1 car again, putting me back in P1 around the Dolphins. And there we go. I'm back where I want to be, back in my comfort zone, but it's not so comfy yet, because again, Michael is just 4/10 behind me, 5/10, flickering back and forth in pace. So I know it's not going to be easy from here on out. It's just going to be a little bit more cozy, but only the slightest bit. As we go into this turn here, I'm still keeping position, but I can tell that the number 1 car really, really wants it back. So here I'm using all of the track width that I can coming out of that hairpin, which is a nerve-wracking thing to do. It is absolutely terrifying coming out of that hairpin and going right up against the wall as you come out of it. But at this point, I'm just so dialed in that I am sort of just running these lines the way that I know how to, and it's working out in my favor. So thankfully I didn't think too much about it, or else I might have made a mistake. But I was just really dialed in this time, and it feels good to be in that focus zone. And I'll tell you, after having the stream that I had and the results that I had, it's not surprising that I sort of deep dove into try-hard mode, trying to do the best that I could here. Here, the number 1 car has more speed than me on the straight. They don't even need to take the draft to speed up higher than me. However, I managed to take them because I got the inside line, and it ended up being okay. They did get in front of me on pace coming out, but I had the inside again and got back out. However, again, they come out with more pace, just over and over again, and just are right behind me now, which is a little worrying. 1/10 behind, as close as they can be. They go for the slingshot, take the inside, and I still managed to stay in first because I just had a little bit more speed, even from the outside, and I was determined to not fall back and to keep my position instead. Tight as I can go through the hairpin there, almost scraping against the wall, just doing the best job that I can do to stay here in first, and it works, increasing the gap behind up to a whole second. Going over the finish line of lap 9 into lap 10, and feeling pretty confident about the gap behind me, but I know it's not going to last long. I'm just enjoying it while it does. Any moment of rest that I can have, I will take. And it may not be a full moment of rest. I'm still pushing my hardest, but it's nice to not feel the pressure of a 10th behind you going into braking zones. Now here on the straight, the number 1 car is right behind me again, a 10th behind, and has every opportunity to pass. So they move to the inside, or to the outside rather, of this upcoming turn. And they don't quite manage to have the speed, especially not from the outside, but they are taking the better lines and slowly catching on me. They've fallen back a little bit here, but on the straight I'm sure they'll be right back to where they were, if not ahead of me here. To my surprise, the gap opens up again. Not much, but just enough to have a little bit of space there. And it lets me stay in first through this first turn again. Lap after lap, just keeping that position and kind of amazed at it. There I locked up and lost a ton of time letting Michael take over, but I was able to get back on the inside because I just had the ideal line going in there, and they backed out just for me to let through. But here again, not far behind, just 3/10 and getting closer. Now you'll recognize our old friend here, the number 4 car, lapped, letting us by, thankfully, no problems at all. Just sort of hanging out. A shame to see them fall back, but they are in 5th, it looks like, which is really impressive, given that they had to pit earlier, and given that they went into a wall earlier. So it's very impressive that they're maintaining a decent top 5 position, apparently. So that was a tight little hairpin sort of moment there that was kind of scary. I didn't really register how scary that was when I was in the car, just focusing on getting through it, but there was sort of a lot going on there that could have gone much worse. But here, of course, 2/10 behind me, 1/10 behind me even, the number 1 car is still buzzing like a wasp trying to take this spot, taking the turn as wide as they can, but I just managed to be in front, taking it the same line, and yeah, it's still going really well for me, maintaining this position, but damn if number 1 is not pushing and pressuring me from behind like mad. So here we are on board, going right up against the wall at the apex, going into this turn. Really taking these lines as tight as I can. All I'm thinking about this whole time is to start as wide as I can on these turns, go as tight as I can on the apex, and here, of course, Michael overtakes me again, and I just think, get in the draft, catch up speed, and get back out there again, and I do, and I immediately overtake back right at the end of the straight that he overtook me on. So at this point, I'm feeling really good. I have the inside line going into these 2 turns, which makes me the first driver into the hairpin, and this is a really unfortunate moment, a moment of relief in a way for me, but let me rewind and show you what happened there. So as you can see, going into the hairpin here, the car behind just clips the back of the number 1 car, wrecks them out, and now I'm left in P1 all by myself. The gap behind, 9 seconds and increasing as I just drive away. At this point, it's lap 13. There's only a few more laps until the end of the race, and I'm feeling like a lot of relief. I'm feeling a ton of relief, and also a little bit of sadness that, you know, obviously I can relate a lot to the pain of being wrecked this late in the race, especially given the stream that I just had. It's not a new experience at all to me. So I definitely feel bad. I know how frustrating that can be to be destroyed on lap 13 when you're in P2 by a car that just should not have taken you out, and there's no good reason for that kind of accident. But on top of that sort of grief and sadness about the good racing being over and all of that, I'm just feeling great and relieved that now I know I just get to parade. I get to turn off all that hardcore focusing that I've been doing, and I just get to drive. I let the number 4 car here in front of me because they are lapped, and I figure, well, they might as well just hop in front. I'll let them race their race. I've got no more racing to do here. I just get to parade now and enjoy my laps. So here we are on board for lap 16 of the race, the final lap. And again, if you look at the relative, there's nobody behind me to worry about. I am just relaxing. There is nothing to think about at all. All I have to do is just take my victory lap and finish off this race. So I'm feeling great in this moment, and I just want to show the onboard camera of this chill lap. It's not going to be the most intense lap of the race. There were much more intense ones earlier, obviously. I'm just sort of relaxing now, but you'll get to see sort of how it felt to go around on this completely empty track and just get to the finish and claim my P1. Oh, and before this race ends, there was actually one more anxiety-inducing moment right here, where I just had a little bit of anxiety brought up from the past races where I've been wrecked at that hairpin today. So that was a little bit scary seeing that car there. If I had been pushing like I was 5 laps ago, I would have probably went right into them and just completely DNF'd out of the race, or had to limp over the line at best. So there it is, over the line, 16 laps of Long Beach in the Skippy, a hard-fought P1 right up until lap 13, and from there, we just got to claim our prize. So thank you so much for watching. I am really proud of this, and you know, it's not like race wins are new to me. I don't get them all the time, but I've had a decent number of Skippy wins this season. But the reason that this one was so important to me is because of just how much garbage I had to drive through and live through in the stream and the races leading up to this today. So you can imagine sort of why this mattered so much to me. It's all contextual, and if you were there for the stream, you'll certainly understand it. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more, and come see me on Twitch sometime. Come hang out. It'll be good to see you, good to chat, and good to have some more good races like this one, and some more really awful ones too, because that's just how it goes. Anyway, see you later. Bye.